KCRG TV9 presents Build the Dream, a Cedar Valley Habitat for Humanity special.
Everybody needs a helping hand. Take a look at your fellow man and tell me what can I do today? 'Cause everybody needs a helping out. If that ain't what it's all about, tell me what can I do? What can I do today?
And now, here's KCRG TV9's Bruce Owney.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bruce Owney, and I want to thank you for joining us tonight as we build the dream. We all know that it is the great American dream to own your own home. Unfortunately, that turns out to be all it ever is for many Eastern Iowans, just a dream. Because of low-paying jobs and the high cost of housing, some people can never afford to buy their own home. And that's where Habitat for Humanity can help. You've probably seen stories about Habitat for Humanity on our newscasts. The Cedar Valley chapter has built 23 homes in the Cedar Rapids area since 1988, and by the end of 1996, Habitat will have finished 25 homes. That's 25 more families with a roof over their heads, a roof that they own. That's what Habitat for Humanity is all about, giving families the chance to own a decent house. Tonight we'll be showing you more about Habitat for Humanity and how the organization helps. You'll also see how you can help. Habitat for Humanity fulfills a lot of needs, but it has needs too. It needs volunteers, it needs materials, and it needs money to continue building the dream for Eastern Iowans. If you want to help, all it takes tonight is a phone call. We have volunteers waiting now to take your call. If you want to volunteer or if you want to donate money or materials to Habitat for Humanity, the number to call is 1-800-599-KCRG. That's 1-800-599-5274. It's a free call from anywhere in the state of Iowa. Just by dialing that phone number, you can help Habitat for Humanity build homes for people who, because of their income, could never afford to buy a home on their own. We just hear the phone start ringing there. Now, these people don't get their homes for free. We want to emphasize that. This is not a giveaway program. The people who move into these homes help build them, and they purchase them. Habitat makes it affordable because the volunteer labor and materials keep the costs low, and the home buyer does not pay interest. If you're interested in helping Habitat for Humanity, again, all you have to do is pick up that phone now. Listen to them ring. Call our toll-free number, 1-800-599-KCRG. That's 1-800-599-5274. This year, Habitat for Humanity is celebrating 20 years of building houses and building lives, not just in Cedar Rapids, not just in Iowa, and not just in the United States, but all around the world. Here are some of the 50,000 people who Habitat for Humanity has helped worldwide. You'll also meet the president and founder of Habitat for Humanity, as well as a former president who's more familiar to you.
You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on.
Habitat for Humanity does more than build homes. It builds dreams and makes dreams come true for people in need.
I have been told a lot of times that I was never going to have anything, that I was never going to be anything. I was told when I was going through some of the trials and tribulations in my life with the other places where we live, that don't worry, just hold on, because God has a blessing for you. Just hold on and wait for that blessing, and I have it. This is our blessing.
So Habitat for Humanity makes it possible for this wonderful array of people to come together in this partnership program, and we all end up helping one another. And the result that comes out of it is a bunch of houses for people who need a decent place to live on terms they can afford to pay.
What Habitat tries to do is to dramatize the fact that we, first of all, have a serious housing problem. Secondly, that it's not a hopeless problem.
Habitat for Humanity has provided hope and help to people right here in Eastern Iowa and in more than 40 countries around the world. Volunteers make it happen. They're the lifeblood of Habitat for Humanity. These Eastern Iowa volunteers are concerned about housing needs in our community, and they work together to select families, raise funds, and build houses and build dreams for people who've had very little to dream about. More than 40 churches in Cedar Rapids, Marion, and Hiawatha are actively involved with Habitat for Humanity. Either they donate money or volunteers from those churches donate their time. We'll tell you more about that later on. But right now, let's talk about how you can help Habitat for Humanity. All it takes is a phone call to this toll-free number, 1-800-599-KCRG. That's 1-800-599-5274. Habitat for Humanity needs donations of time, donations of materials, and donations of money to help build the dream for people who can't afford to buy their own home. Habitat for Humanity requires a lot of people, as you can imagine, and we want you to meet a couple of those people right now. We have with us tonight Hal Gilchrist, who is president of the Habitat Board of Directors, and also Tommy Bader, who is executive director of the Cedar Valley Habitat for Humanity. And Hal, why don't you just tell us, first of all, how Habitat works?
Well, Habitat is, as you said, Bruce, a partnership of many organizations in the community. The churches, the volunteers, businesses that have contributed people and time, materials, and many things that go into building a house. So it's really a lot of different factors in the community getting together.
Habitat benefits from all those factors, but the community benefits from Habitat for Humanity as well, Tommy.
It does. It benefits a great deal. For one thing, as you mentioned, there are 23 and coming up on 25 families who will be homeowners and contribute that not only in economic health to the community, but in health for their own families.
Is Cedar Valley Habitat the only group of its kind? I believe there are several Habitat organizations in this part of the state, right?
There are. The Iowa Valley Habitat is down in Iowa City, and there are other affiliates getting formed now and getting started. And certainly if someone happens to call in and wants to address that local need, they can sure find that information here also. We'll get back to them.
Yeah, definitely. We don't want to pinpoint just the Cedar Valley Habitat tonight because Habitat benefits so many people throughout eastern Iowa.
The great thing about the gift KCRG is giving to us with the telethon is that in any of those 6 or 7 areas that have affiliates, if someone calls, we'll make sure that affiliate finds out. So it's a great gift all the way around for affordable housing in this ministry.
All right, thank you, Tommy Bader and Hal Gilchrist.
I've got one more comment, Bruce. I'd like to make sure that people realize that besides the money that is given here in Cedar Rapids in our local area, we also tithe to the world community. And for every house we're building in Cedar Rapids, another house is getting built around the world. So we haven't built 23 houses, we've built 46 houses.
That's good to hear, Hal. Good point to make. Hal Gilchrist and Tommy Bader tonight. The goal of Habitat for Humanity is a decent house for all God's people. Habitat works to provide affordable homes to families whose income would otherwise never allow them to buy a home. And the purpose of this program tonight is to help Habitat for Humanity continue this good work. If you'd like to help, we've been giving you this number. We'll give it to you repeatedly. It's toll-free. Just call 1-800-599-KCRG. That's 1-800-599-5274. Habitat for Humanity needs donations of your time or materials, things like new lumber or your money, too. If you want to help and if you can help, please call the number on your TV screen, 1-800-599-KCRG. We forgot the G off my script there, 1-800-599-5274. Luckily, I say it enough, I knew to add the G. One of the people answering your calls tonight who's helping out here is Dave Keeler from the Cedar Rapids Marion Home Builders Association. Dave, you build homes, but yet you're so willing to help out Habitat for Humanity. Why?
Well, the community's been really good to us, and the home building's been really great these last few years, and we decided that we need to give back something to our community, and one of the great ways to do that is to provide homes for people who can't afford it.
How do you help?
We donate money through the ticket sales of Parade of Homes, and also last year we built a complete home and donated everything, labor and materials.
And all of that just keeps adding up for this wonderful organization.
Thank you. Yeah, it does. We really enjoy doing it, and it gives us an opportunity to give something back to the community, as I said.
I understand also that you have a challenge that you want to put out tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to challenge all the other Home Builders Association in the KCRG listening area to donate to Habitat for Humanity. There's one in Dubuque and Iowa City and several others that Quad Cities. I'd like them all to take the challenge and donate to Habitat and help build a dream.
All right, thank you, Dave Keeler. We have a check, too. We take time for checks.
Oh, sure. On behalf of the Greater Cedar Rapids Marion Home Builders Association, we'd like to present this check, which represents a partial profit from our 1996 Parade of Homes.
Thank you very much, Dave. We appreciate that very much. And Habitat homeowners come in all shapes and sizes, but they also share one thing in common. They're willing to work hard for the chance to own a home of their own. TV9's Dave Fransman shows you one Cedar Rapids family that certainly fits that description.
And so we sanded them all down, took all the handles off, had everything sanded down so that they could paint them.
Paula Mincer admits she didn't know a lot about home remodeling, but she did know how to sand woodwork. And that's what she did, hour after hour after hour. To qualify as potential Habitat homeowners, families must meet income guidelines. But they must also show a willingness to work, even if they don't have a lot of remodeling skills.
And once you start working on the house, then it's, with me, it was like, oh, you know, now I'm going to be a homeowner. And that was a whole new thing for me because I've never owned a home.
3 years ago, Paula was a single mother living with her 2 children in the basement of her parents' home. Just to qualify for the Habitat waiting list, she had to put in 100 hours of work on other projects. It's called sweat equity. Then it was her turn. Paula decided to accept this existing home that needed to move to make way for a grocery store. She put in more hours along with the many other volunteers to make the remodeling conversion complete. The first night in her new home was a night to remember.
We didn't have beds over here yet, and we still stayed. We slept on the floor just to be in the house. And I think that it was real exciting to us to finally get a place of our own that we could be in.
It was a total family project. It wasn't just Paula, it wasn't Paula and the girls. It was her whole family. They really stood behind her and with her to make this happen.
Paula says she learned about Habitat from a newspaper article about a new home. It took 3 long years from that day until she owned a home of her own. It was a long wait, but it was worth it.
Habitat families volunteer 400 to 500 hours of their own time to help build or remodel their Habitat house and to support other Habitat projects. Habitat for Humanity not only receives help from volunteers, though, it also receives help from members of the business community. With us tonight is Mike Esposette, who's with Ryan Construction in Cedar Rapids, and he's here tonight to tell us how his company supports Habitat for Humanity and how other businesses can help build the dream. And, well, Mike, let's just start out. How do you help Habitat?
A couple of years ago, it became obvious to us that Habitat was in need of a home. If Cedar Valley Habitat was going to grow, it needed a place in which to do so. So with the help of businesses, subcontractors, suppliers, and the owner of the building, we were able to provide a home for Habitat at no cost to Habitat.
That had to be a very, very big step for Habitat, just for the organization to give it a base.
It was a very big step, and now it has an address and a phone that is answered constantly, and it's very helpful.
How can other businesses get involved?
Actually, there are a number of ways. By sponsoring a home, for example, with the labor and the material to build a home or some portion thereof. Maybe businesses could provide half a day off for their employees to go work on a Habitat home. Possibly partnering with other businesses or social or other businesses in the community to provide part labor and part material, or perhaps providing supervisors for a day. And then lastly, Habitat's really an organization just like any other organization. It needs postage, it needs mailing, it needs a lot of other features that maybe your business can provide.
A lot of suggestions there. Thank you, Mike Esposette from Ryan Construction, and thank you for your help for Habitat as well. Habitat for Humanity, as we've been saying, helps low-income families afford a home. But that would not be possible if it weren't for volunteers. They put in so many, many hours to build homes and to hammer out the details that keep the project going. TV9's Lori Johnson features some of those Habitat for Humanity volunteers, and she finds out what keeps them so committed to this labor of love.
Cliff Egger is a Habitat for Humanity volunteer. He's been building homes for others for almost 8 years. The retired salesman gets a special feeling when he helps complete the construction of a home.
The dedication ceremony brings tears to your eyes. It's such a great sight to see these people finally get a home, you know, and it just really makes you feel good that you helped do it.
Cliff is just one of hundreds of Eastern Iowa volunteers who make low-income families' dreams of owning a home come true. Volunteers have built 23 homes in the Cedar Rapids, Marion area since 1989. This home on Cedar Rapids' southwest side, along with one in Marion, will be the 24th and the 25th. Volunteers are the cornerstone of this ongoing project, and it's not just the ones you see working here. There's a lot of work to be done before the foundation's even laid.
A lot of times we laugh and say that everyone knows Habitat because of houses, but there were hundreds of other volunteers through fundraising and special events and office support who actually get to the point where there are funds so that these volunteers can then do the job that they do.
Building a home from the ground up is no small task. Organizers say it can be done. You just have to cut through the idea that it's too tough.
Most people will say, I could never build a house. They would be surprised if they have help and supervision how far they could go.
Organizers use word of mouth to find a number of their volunteers. Once they start building, many volunteers like Dick Freeman don't want to stop. The former director of Habitat for Humanity has always been interested in building homes and helping others.
Everyone has to decide what they want to do. And they feel that they're here to help others. I feel very strongly that we're here to help others. And if you have that feeling, this is one good way to do it. And it's right in your local community where you can do it when it's convenient for you.
Habitat for Humanity is always looking for volunteers. For one thing, it needs people who can be skilled supervisors. They would either supervise an entire project or various pieces of a project. If you'd like to volunteer your time, or if you'd like to donate materials which are much needed, like new siding or shingles, or if you'd like to donate money to Habitat for Humanity, all you have to do is pick up your phone right now and call this toll-free number, 1-800-599-KCRG. Again, that's 1-800-599-5274. Volunteers are waiting to take your call and to take your pledge. So please make that call now. It's free from anywhere in the state of Iowa. Again, 1-800-599-KCRG, 1-800-599-5274. Earlier we told you how churches in Cedar Rapids, Marion, and Hiawatha religiously donate their time and money to Habitat for Humanity. Well, joining us now are Laura Lee Edwards from St. Paul's United Methodist in Cedar Rapids. And Laura Lee is one of the original organizers of the Cedar Valley Habitat for Humanity. Also with us is Darlene Schmidt, who represents the Marion Churches Project, and Doug Newman, who is here tonight representing the Hiawatha Churches Project. And Laura Lee, you've been there from the beginning. Tell us how churches brought Habitat to Cedar Rapids.
2 ministers sent out letters to all the churches in Lynn County asking them to send representatives if they were concerned about the housing situation for low-income people. And we had a wonderful response even at the very first meeting. So from there, the churches formed a steering committee, provided seed money that made us really have a strong foundation to begin a Habitat affiliate in this part of eastern Iowa.
And this involves big churches and little churches.
Absolutely, all sizes. In fact, the interfaith community that is also concerned about housing is welcome to participate in supporting this effort. The churches help with meals, work crews, sponsoring entire houses, and working together to sponsor a house. So there's all kinds of ways.
Darlene and Doug, I want to get over here and find out how Marion and Hiawatha are involved. Marion.
Well, Marion, we have 11 churches that are involved with over 250 volunteers. So we've been very excited to be able to work together for a common goal. And we finished our first home last year in '95, and we'll be finishing our second home next month.
Hiawatha project is just getting underway. All 4 churches in Hiawatha have come together to do a house. And we're looking to Marion and to Cedar Valley for some advice and some help in getting going. But we've got a very excited group and getting started, and a couple of years down the road, hopefully we'll have a house up too.
That's what we like to hear. It's this excitement that Doug mentioned that we see all the way through Habitat's projects. Habitat for Humanity has a place for all of us. It involves businesses, churches, and people with a variety of skills. They're people who plan events, recruit volunteers, work on fundraising, work with families, or supervise at the work site. Whatever you can do, Habitat for Humanity has a place for you. I want to thank Laura Lee Edwards, Darlene Schmidt, and Doug Newman, by the way, for joining us. If you'd like to volunteer or if you'd like to donate money or new materials, pick up your telephone right now. Call our toll-free number, 1-800-599, that's music to our ears there, 599-KCRG, 1-800-599-5274. You may be wondering how Habitat for Humanity chooses the families who help build and who purchase the homes they live in. Jan Drahozal, did I say that, Jan? Okay. Jan is the chairperson of the Family Selection Committee at Habitat for Humanity, and that's a good question. How do you choose the families?
Well, first of all, there needs to be adequate, they need to have adequate housing. There needs to be a need. Second of all, there's they need to meet guidelines, income guidelines. Thirdly, they need to be able to work on other people's houses besides their own. So for a single adult in the family, they will work at least 400 hours. For 2 adults in the family, they will work 500 hours to help refurbish or build Habitat houses. And lastly, they need to prove their credit history and their financial history, income, to meet guidelines.
Yeah, because we're trying to show tonight that this is not a giveaway. They are not getting the homes for free.
That's correct. They need to be able to save $250 is what they're going to need for their down payment, and then they're going to have monthly housing payments thereupon.
And that has to help, I imagine, their personal self-esteem knowing that they're moving into a brand new house like that.
That's correct.
All right. Thank you, Jan Drahozal. Did I say it? I got it. Close enough. Jan, thank you for being here. Habitat for Humanity volunteers are making dreams come true for Eastern Iowa families. Tonight, TV9's Mark Thomas introduces you to one Cedar Rapids family that's on the way to receiving the ultimate Christmas gift.
This will be a bathroom, and then there's a hallway right here, and this is my son's room.
Amy Winslow says Habitat for Humanity makes the impossible possible.
My housing situation was pretty dreary. We were in a 1-bedroom apartment, myself and my 2 children, and it was pretty crowded, but that's all we could afford.
Amy will soon buy this new split-level home with a no-interest mortgage. Habitat for Humanity requires future homeowners to volunteer their time through sweat equity. Amy has to work 400 hours on her home and others. And she says the work has turned out to be fun.
It's just really wonderful to meet all the people and work with them. It's really overwhelming to know that they're donating their time and they're leaving their families every Saturday to come out and work hard all day.
It's all about helping other people, and it's just a wonderful program.
Nancy Gucciardo is a Habitat for Humanity volunteer who works with families like the Winslows.
Our role is to be a friend with the homeowner, help them through the process, answer any questions they may have about home ownership, just kind of be a buddy.
Now, it may look like this house has a long way to go, but believe it or not, Habitat for Humanity volunteers hope to have this house open in time for Christmas.
It would be a wonderful Christmas present for our whole family if we could move in around Christmas time. That'd be the best ever.
Their Habitat for Humanity experience won't be the last for the Winslows.
This is something that the children and I have decided we want to continue to do after we get our home. This is something that we really believe in.
Okay.
Sentiments like that guarantee Habitat for Humanity will help make dreams come true for years to come.
Habitat for Humanity, as you heard a few moments ago, requires a $250 down payment from future homeowners. That compares with $5,000, for example, for the average new home. So it is quite a difference. Habitat for Humanity has helped families across Eastern Iowa and around the world build their dream. But Habitat for Humanity needs your help to keep turning the dreams into houses. Hal Gilchrist, the president of the Cedar Valley Habitat for Humanity Board of Directors, joins us again. Also with us is John Reed, the chairman of the fundraising committee for Habitat, and Christy McGill, who is chairperson of the volunteer committee. And Christy, you're closest to me, so I'll start with you. And tell us a little bit about the need for volunteers and what they do.
Well, of course, Habitat wouldn't exist if it weren't for its volunteers. And in fact, it's the volunteers that give Habitat the sense of purpose that it has. But specifically, we do have needs for volunteers in 2 areas. The first area is individuals who would be willing to volunteer a day or an afternoon to supervise a small crew on a construction site. Or even those individuals who might be willing to take on the task, so to speak, of supervising the entire job of building a Habitat home. The second area that we have specific volunteer needs concerns the many committees that are involved that do all the work before the house actually even gets built, and those are fundraising committees, family selection, special events, volunteer coordination, and all of those have ongoing needs for committee members.
John, you have some special projects coming up as well.
Yes, Bruce, we certainly do. These buttons that many of us are wearing this evening that say Build the Dream represent an activity we've just kicked off called Button Day. We're certainly hoping that many of the employers out there in the community will support the Cedar Valley chapter by perhaps purchasing these buttons for their employees or letting their employees sell them at work. We're also
How much?
$2.
Okay.
I want to mention Perpetual Savings Bank underwrote the entire cost of the buttons for us. So 100% of the $2 button donation goes to help us help families. We're very excited about that. The public can call us at 366-4485. That's our Cedar Valley Habitat number, and get buttons from us. We've got 8,000 of them that we're going to get sold, and that'll raise $16,000 for Habitat. We're hoping people will wear them to work, perhaps at a company casual day or a special day set aside where Habitat information is available to the employees. So we're excited.
You should be excited about it. Hal, we're out of time, but you're
Why we're excited, Bruce, with volunteers like this. Things are really happening. Some of our dreams are to have a community of Habitat houses, a neighborhood of Habitat houses. Our ultimate dream is that we don't need Habitat for Humanity and all God's children have decent, affordable housing.
Thank you, the 3 of you, for joining us tonight, and that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. We thank you for joining. If you still haven't called in, you still can. Our operators will be here until the last phone call is answered, so call our toll-free number now, 1-800-599-KCRG, 1-800-599-5274. We want to thank the people from Habitat for Humanity for allowing us to work with them on this program. We want to thank all of you for watching. And a special thanks to all of you who took the time to call in tonight, and you can still do it. I'm Bruce Downey. I'll see you again tonight at 10 on TV9 News Nightcast. Until then, have a wonderful evening.
Tell me what can I do?